Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Kaba Ilco number 861N 26D. This is a satin chrome type finish aluminum collar. It's a cylinder collar is what it is, or maybe a cylinder ring. Go over some basic dimensional properties and we'll talk about what it's used for. Outside diameter, 1.397. An inside diameter would be 1.178. A thickness of the collar, which is the N in the part number, by the way, 0.313. So 5/16 is what that is. Has a couple of all but imperceptible chamfered edges here and on the inside. Let's talk about what exactly you would use this for. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Now, cylinder collar, what would you use it for? Well, it is a piece of hardware. It's an accessory that you use by default because you need to just finish off an installation. You install a mortise cylinder, or a rim cylinder for that matter, I suppose, into a door or a piece of hardware like an alarm bypass or a cylinder dogging in an exit device or a mortise lock or exit device trim. And you have so much cylinder, but you really only need so much cylinder, okay? So a typical example is where you've got an 1.25 inch long mortise cylinder, but your application really only requires a 1-inch mortise cylinder. Or you have an 1 3/8 small format 7-pin mortise housing, and it's going into aluminum storefront. Well, that's 1 3/8 worth of cylinder, but you can really get by with a cylinder that's 15/16. And that's where a collar would come into play like this. Why would why can't you just have cylinders that are shorter? Well, in some instances you certainly can, but when you have a particular requirement for a keyway or a key system, those cylinders or those housings for that key system are not available in shorter lengths because it may not be possible. A small format, interchangeable core mortise housing, the shortest that's available, that's possible, I should say, in a 7-pin is indeed 1 3/8. I think 6-pin you can get to 1.25 inch. But you're still going to need a collar, and you'll see that exact example in grocery stores where they have automatic biparting doors. You've got a big giant 7-pin mortise housing out there, and you don't need that much cylinder, and you'll certainly see a collar like this or even larger installed in those applications. The 861 is a part number that the factory uses to represent a trim ring or a cylinder collar or some piece of equipment that goes underneath the head of a cylinder. Again, the N in the part number refers to the 5/16. When you change that letter, you change the thickness. The 26D means that this looks like a 26D or a satin chrome finish on this outside of this collar. The -10 in the part number means if you were to order these from the factory, -10 means there's 10 in a package. You don't have to buy them in multiples of 10, but that's what that means in the part number. Let's switch to the screen view and let's take a closer look at some supporting information. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Here is the item that we are looking at. Let's take a look at some photographs that we have. There's the collar. Side view. Showing that chamfer that's on the inside and outside. I can't say the reason for the chamfer, but maybe the manufacturing process leaves a very light or small irregular edge there. So the way it's probably a sharp edge as well. So the way they solve that is to just put a very tiny chamfer on it. Okay, so extended description information down below, made of aluminum in a satin chrome finish. It's 5/16 thick. That's what the N means. Technical drawing. This is a document that I received from the factory. I don't believe it's necessarily proprietary information. Just gives an overview of dimensional properties of items. It's a internal document that really wouldn't have much use to you, but it's here as a resource. And it does show you what that 861 series looks like. Parts must be burr-free. That's probably why they're chamfering it, would be my guess. Okay, there is a table down below. This table will allow us to review all of the different cylinders from Kaba Ilco. Or I should say collars. This table is for all the different collars that are available. As you see, the part has a letter in it. Again, that's the thickness. As you change that letter, you change the thickness column that's seen here. Video reviews are in this far right column, forgive me. If you're interested to see that material a bit more close up, you can certainly do so. Other tables are here as well. They have adjustable spring collars, tapered collars, miscellaneous parts. So why would you want one over the other? Well, a tapered collar is meant versus just a cylinder collar. A tapered collar versus a cylinder collar is meant for the following sort of installation. You've got a grossly drawn mortise cylinder here. A cylinder collar is going to fit, wow, like that. Whereas a tapered collar is going to allow the cylinder to fit inside of it, like this, so that it shields the top of the head of the cylinder. This tapered feature right here is what gives it that principle. The collar is meant to be ever so slightly greater than the head of the cylinder, so that if someone excuse this little blurb here, if someone were to try to attack the head of the cylinder, because the collar is a little bit greater, they're not going to be able to get the wrench on this small area here, and that collar is just going to spin. At least that's the intent. And this collar, the 861 series, is going to be loose on the door, basically. You might not be able to, it won't, you know, it'll turn, it won't rattle, but it's supposed to spin if something is placed on it to, you know, in the event someone's trying to wrench the cylinder off the door. The collar is meant to help protect, not only fill that gap from the underside of the head, but to help protect it from being wrenched off the door as well. Other cylinder collars can be made. There are applications sometimes when I require like a 1-inch cylinder collar or greater. We can help you with those. Kaba Ilco doesn't get into that material, but others do. The adjustable spring collar is nice. It basically is going to allow you to thread the cylinder in. The spring-loaded trim on the exterior will compress and give you a finished look. I don't really see applications where the adjustable spring collar is my first choice, because the tapered collar is likely going to work, but it may not work in all applications because of its dimensional properties. And there is a wave washer that you can buy for that. The tapered collar, you would want the wave washer to go along with that. Let's see if we have a photo of the wave washer. Well, I have a video of it here. Let's see if I actually have any images of it. Yeah, I certainly do. That's what the wave washer looks like. That would go in that sort of collar as well. Okay. And while the tapered head collar, or pardon me, the adjustable spring collar will certainly allow you to tighten that cylinder down via that spring-loaded trim mechanism, It doesn't really protect the head of the cylinder. It will bring it down flush. And I think as a result, we don't really sell a lot of these. You know, people want them because they need a cylinder collar, and some people want this collar, but I personally don't see the advantage of it. In terms of the tapered collar, the disadvantage of what Kaba Ilco offers is that it's a limited size. There's just this one size that they have. And here's that tapered collar that Kaba Ilco has. There are other sizes available, not by Kaba Ilco. We can help you with those. The point being is you might just simply have a longer cylinder, like that 1 3/8, and you simply need more tapered cylinder collar, and we can indeed help with that. Okay, so that's where you're going to use all this material. There is a link below this video as seen here to the manufacturer's page, and when you click on that, you can pull up not only all of the Kaba Ilco products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation as seen here, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to several catalogs. The brass cylinder manual is here. This document is a bit Spartan in the sense that it doesn't have a lot of images. The previous version did, but this shows the table of all of the different sizes. This is obviously where our table came from. There's also a link to the key blank catalog. That's extremely handy if you're dealing with mortise cylinder or rim cylinder collars. You're probably dealing with cylinders, and if you're dealing with cylinders, you're probably dealing with key blanks. And this catalog is 500 pages worth of key blanks. The magenta color, this red color, is the North American cylinder section. So if you're dealing with typical builder's hardware, this section 2 is where you'd likely want to be looking for key blanks. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Okay, typical sort of equipment that you're going to see here. They're going to make these available in lots of different finishes. Your brass, your bronze, your chrome, dark brown, black, aluminum, things of that nature. They're all made of aluminum, but there'll be a complementary finish. So you'll certainly be able to get a collar to complement the face of the cylinder and the color of the hardware that you're working on. Tremendous technical support over at Kaba Ilco. There's a gentleman there who entertains my constant questions and questioning, and to him for that I say thank you very much. I look forward to meeting him for the first time this year's Aloha Convention 2021 in Orlando, Florida. Any questions on the Kaba Ilco 861N-26D or any other Kaba Ilco product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.